Hello everyone, Pinder Productions here, and as my engineer gives me an upgrade update, then we are here at Austria for round 9 of my F1 2017 career mode, and we have our ICE durability part fitted, and I am changing the format slightly for this. So I'm starting off with the upgrade report, and then I'm going to skip out any practice footage and just show the results that I get from practice. I did put on some older components for my practice sessions, but there you go, that's the result of the practice sessions. So if you do like this new format, then please do tell me. Now I'm putting on the newer parts that I had installed before practice for qualifying, which I did on the Ultrasoft compound tyres. So let's go to start our lap. We are down in P7 already on this first straight, so not doing great here in Austria. We get an okay first corner, although we are quite a way down from where the team want us to be in P17 out of P14, which is where the target is. Hopefully I can make up some time in this braking zone here, getting very close to the ghost of Hamilton there, up into P12 at this stage of the lap in qualifying. And now coming into the final sector, we did very well in the middle sector. Let's brake for the final two corners, and I took that a little bit slowly and not a great line through there, losing some positions. Hopefully I don't lose out too much and I can keep within the team's target. What's it going to be? I think it was P13. Excellent. Okay, P13, that's alright. I'm happy. That's good, solid foundation within the team's expectations. But anyway, there are the resource points we have after practice and qualifying. Here is the update on the rivalry. You can see that Nico Hulkenberg was faster than me, so he is gaining on me in the rivalry, and I have basically stayed the same, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, as you can see. And then here I realised that I couldn't put any upgrades on because I didn't have enough resource points. So I decided that the durability is going quite well now. I'm going to try and go for some performance upgrades, but they're too expensive. As you can see, they're insufficient resource points, so it's going to take a little bit more saving. But anyway, let's go to the race.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Kimi Raikkonen completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Ricciardo, Sergio Perez and Verstappen.
So there was your top 6, and this is my race strategy. I'm going for the one stop around with a bit of extra fuel on to run rich mix, as this is a power track. We line up in P11 due to some penalties, so let's go. From the start of this race, we get a slow start, Palmer, and now Raikkonen alongside me, so he must have had a penalty for whatever reason. But I brake later than him and go round the outside of Ocon and Palmer there, or try to anyway, kicking up a little bit of dirt, it looks like, on the exit from that curb. And I'm side by side with Raikkonen for a bit, but now I'm slightly ahead of him. Although I think he is coming back, I'm going to have to go late into the braking zone up to the inside behind Palmer, going alongside with my teammate who is on the outside. I have to fall back behind him. You can see there behind me the Toro Rosso and the Ferrari of Kimi Raikkonen are battling it out. So let's follow behind my teammate now, see if we can make an overtake up the inside. There we go, one position made up, and now we are behind Jolyon Palmer in the Renault. So we're going to have to follow him round for a bit now, hoping to maybe overtake in the last sector, which we're about to come into round this corner here, or possibly on the pit straight. We'll just have to see what happens, but we are getting quite close to him. It seems we are pulling out a little bit of a gap to the cars behind, although it's nothing major at this point in the race because it is just the start. So we're not going to be able to overtake him in these final 2 corners, so it's going to have to be on the pit straight or on the next straight. So we get into the slipstream of Jolyon Palmer, and can I have a look up the inside? Not quite close enough at this stage, so we're going to have to carry on going, following behind Jolyon Palmer up to the next, what would be a DRS straight on lap 3, but we are only on lap 2 at this point in the race, so we have to follow him up the braking zone. Not quite close enough, although you can see him looking up, and we are right behind him now on the exit of turn 2. And I'm going to come up right in his slipstream as we ride on board. Am I going to be able to make a lunge up the inside? I'm going to move to the right hand side and brake later than him, almost rear-ending the Toro Rosso there of Carlos Sainz, who is following behind Sergio Perez in the pink Force India there. And now we are behind Carlos Sainz here in this race. I'm going to try and go around the outside here on this corner, but not quite able to do it. He closes the door on me and keeps his position ahead. So now we are going to follow him round, and hopefully we can try and make a move, because we do seem to be a little bit closer this time round than we were with Jolyon Palmer. So we'll have to see what happens as we get very close in that corner, and I'm going to get right in his slipstream here on the pit straight. There we go, pass right behind him, and I'm going to move to the right hand side, braking later than he does, and up the inside into the next position. I believe it's P11 at the moment, because I lost 2, gained 2. It might be P10 actually now, if I gained 3, because I remember losing 2 off the start. We'll have to see when we go back to the onboard shot after this DRS straight, because we want to see, can Carlos Sainz retake his position with a bit of DRS, which he should get now on this lap. It's being lap 3. Yes, he does get DRS on me. I hit the 150 meter marker board with my left corner of my wing there in the braking zone, but I am able to keep the position ahead of Carlos Sainz, and that position is P9. Oh my gosh, running in the points, only just in the points, but running in the points. So very nice to see in these early stages of the Austrian Grand Prix. And now we cut to the start of lap 4, because Ocon is making a challenge to the car ahead, and he is going to pass Felipe Massa, or at least attempt to. It was Ocon ahead and Perez behind, I think. I made a mistake there earlier, but there we go. Ocon is now ahead of Massa. Will Massa be able to fight back into this braking zone? He will get DRS though on him, and we gain a lot in that braking zone. Am I going to be able to stick with them? I do have DRS on both of them, so could it be a 3-wide battle into this braking zone here for P7? Or is it going to be that I'm too far behind Felipe Massa to make a serious challenge as we brake late? Almost rear-end him there. We do rear-end him, and I go wide, and I am suffering here. And now Carlos Sainz remakes a position there, so I have compromised myself by braking too late, tapping Felipe Massa's rear end. Palmer gets very close through that corner, and now I'm back down into P10 behind Carlos Sainz. So I'm going to have to try and re-overtake him at some point in this race. I'm going to have to try and replicate the move I did at the start of lap 3, or at least hope to, if I can get close enough in this final corner. No overtaking there. Looks like somebody has had an issue. Sebastian Vettel has had an issue. He is now out of the race, so we are still up in P10, and it doesn't look like I'm close enough to overtake Carlos Sainz at this stage, so I'm going to have to try and wait till the next DRS straight at the top of the hill. So I'm just going to have to try and stay close enough so that I do get DRS within a second on track. So we have gone past the DRS detection, and we do get DRS, so very good to see. Braking quite late, getting very close, almost right up into his gearbox there, like I did with Massa in the braking zone on the previous lap. But now we do follow Carlos Sainz with DRS. Am I going to be able to make a more successful dive bomb move up the inside? Yes, I do. Push Sainz out a little bit wide, but try and give him some room at least, and I make the move successfully up for P9 here on lap 5 at the Österreich ring. Sorry, trying to pronounce my German there, or Red Bull ring as it is now known in Österreich. It seems like since I finished my GCSEs I have forgotten how to pronounce German. And we have a yellow flag in this sector once again, because Vettel's there is on the apex of the corner by the pit lane entry, so hopefully they'll be able to recover him without the need for a safety car as we start lap 6, approaching the pit window. So now we cut to the end of lap 6, where the yellow flags have now gone and Sebastian Vettel's car is no longer on the apex, so they have cleared it without the need for a safety car, which is very good to see, and it means we will not be backed up into Carlos Sainz, so he's still very close to me and might try to make an overtake into this first corner, but no, he's not quite close enough, although Sainz and Palmer are both following me very close behind, and I'm going to have to try and defend them on this next DRS straight. So as we brake into the corner, hopefully I can make some sort of advantage. No, I can't. I'm usually very good on the brakes into a corner. Maybe that's just because when I'm following I aim to brake later than them. Probably that's just what it is, and it's the psychologically of that. But anyway, it looks like I have successfully kept ahead of Carlos Sainz for that DRS zone as I go a little bit wide on that apex, but I do keep the position ahead of the Toro Rosso. So here we are coming towards the end of lap 8, where I'm telling my engineer to box this lap. They did tell me at the start of the lap to box, but I'm just confirming it with them just in case my teammate decides to cut in, although he is behind me, so I doubt that will happen. But anyway, braking now just about in the green there. And now we're just going to have to trundle along this pit lane. It's quite a long journey really, travelling along the pit lane. And now into the box. The team will change the tyres, hold the clutch down, accelerate, and I am still out ahead of Carlos Sainz behind me there, and release the limiter. I'm going to take this corner here really slowly so I don't damage my front wing, because it is extremely tight, and I'm going to avoid crossing the white line on the exit. And there we go, we are out into P15 in the race. So lost some positions, although I think I was one of the earlier cars in the race to pit, and I think I did hold up a couple of cars in the pit. So we'll see where we come out after the round of pit stops, but for now we are in P16. Sorry, I read that as 15. I think that's actually a 6. The preview window resolution is fairly low, so I'm sorry if I did make a mistake there, but we are able to keep Carlos Sainz behind on that DRS straight. So now we cut to the final corner of lap 9, where it looks like my teammate is going into the pits. You can see the red on the screen in the bottom right corner. It means that my teammate is in the pits. We're going up into P15, and it looks like we could get up into P14 here, which we are able to do. So we are now up into P13 even. Wow, there were 2 cars coming out there. I thought it was just 1, to be honest. So here on lap 10 we have made a position up into P13, and we are now behind the Sauber of Marcus Ericsson, who I assume started on super soft, so we'll be on the older tyres. I'll ask my engineer that now.
Up to the car ahead is 2.5 seconds. They're on old super softs.
So there is confirmation that they are on old super soft, so I assume they will be pitting within the next couple of laps, which will gift us a position or 2 maybe if other cars are doing a similar strategy to him, like the car running in front of him is now. And again we cut to one of the final 2 corners as Ericsson is going into the pit, so I have to take a slightly different line to what I would normally take there. It's quite an odd pit lane entry, at least I feel like it is, because you have to go quite wide. But we are now up into P10 in this race, so back into the points. We will get 1 point for finishing in this position if we stay here. And it looks like Verline is ahead, so I assume he's on a similar strategy to his teammate if I ask my engineer now that question.
7 seconds. You're taking 2.5 seconds out of them each lap. They're on old super softs.
And there we go, there is confirmation that they are on the same strategy as his teammates, so I assume he will be pitting as well. And Sainz got very close to me in that braking zone as I was asking my engineer about his tyres, so that got a bit scary there, and he is getting very close again in that corner. So it looks like Sainz is closing up a little bit in the braking zones, but not close enough to do any sort of overtakes. Here we see on the end of lap 11 Verline again moving into the right, so same as his teammate did, he is pitting, which allows us to go up into P9 once again, and it looks like this is going to be our position for the rest of the race. P9, unless anything dramatic happens, then we are in P9 for the moment. We cut now onto the final lap of the race. Kimi Räikkönen has won. We did pull out a gap to Carlos Sainz, who was overtaken by Jolyon Palmer, although that wasn't really anywhere near us, so I didn't see that happen. No point really editing that part in, it'd just be a name change, to be honest. But anyway, we come round the final corner here to finish this race at the Österreich Ring, or Red Bull Ring as it is now, in Austria. And there we go, P9, solid 2 points at the end of this race.
Great effort there from Ferrari to take the victory today. So, Ant, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium, and as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table.
So the race result is Raikkonen, Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Perez, Ocon, Massa, me, Palmer, Kvyat, Magnussen, Sainz, Lance Stroll, Alonso, and I'm too slow for my own. Flicking through there, you can see the Drivers' Championship. Massa moves down behind Esteban Ocon of Force India. Nobody moves in the Constructors, although there are more points given to Mercedes, as Vettel once again retired from the race, same as he did in, I believe it was Canada, where he last retired. Here we have our rivalry update. I believe I did finish ahead of Hulkenberg. Yes, I did. So I will be pulling ahead again in the rivalry, which is very nice to see there, being ahead of my rival Nico Hulkenberg. And team approval is going to go up because I beat my teammate and the team's target, so that has gone up, which is very nice to see once again. And here is the career score after round 9 of my first championship season, and this is the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, then please give it a like, and if you are new, then feel free to subscribe to get notified when new videos come out, or join my Discord, as I do put a notification on there when I have a new video. Link will be in the description for that. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.